The following presentation was produced by the Buddhist Society of Victoria. Please visit our website at bsv.net.au.
Thank you all for coming here today, and this is the opening ceremony of our retreat centre. As you will see it later on, there's many more things needed to be done, but that's life. We all start off, where we can. This is now available for people to actually meditate. And because they can actually meditate here, you get a feel for not what is yet to be built, but what is already there, which is already very peaceful and very comfortable and very beautiful. Sometimes it's small, but then when it's small, it's kind of cozy, and you get a much better atmosphere to be able to serve and to connect with all the people in that hall. It's amazing I was talking to the architects earlier, that whenever you build anything, you start from small things, and then it grows. All of the great monuments over in Sri Lanka and in Thailand, and look, all over the world, and especially in Vietnam. I should say more about Vietnam, but I've been over to Vietnam many times. And once what really inspired me was this monastery, a small monastery which was on top of a mountain, just between, I think, Ha Long Bay and Hanoi. And on that mountain there was a king of Vietnam, and he gave up his throne and he went up that mountain to the top to become a monk, to renounce. I remember going up there and it was really inspiring. I went up there, it was inspiring simply because that, this is a person who gave up everything for something much better, for this beautiful sense of inner peace and freedom. And that was a great inspiration for other people in Vietnam. And this is actually one of the things which we always love talking about, of how we can not just have peace in our mind and fulfillment in our mind, but how we can also inspire others. Before I walked over here, I was talking to our building subcommittee, and just all the sacrifices which they have done, all the sacrifices which you have done, all the sacrifices which the monks have done. And I don't know why, but it always seems our tradition that whenever we are building anything, it's always done at the very, very, very last minute. And I was very encouraged to hear that the building permit, the occupancy permit, so that we could hold the last retreat, that was only issued, I think, a few days before the retreat started. Always at the last minute. We never know if it's really going to be approved. And that's always been the case, no matter what we've ever done. And sometimes you see that just from small beginnings, amazing things happen. Even are they here? Oh yeah, they're here. Even our Dhammasara nuns monastery. They're here. They can tell me if I make any mistakes in this. You know that it's great having a retreat centre here. That's part of the growth of Buddhism in Australia. But even when we decided to have Buddhist nuns, we had to get a place for them. And to get a place for them is not easy. I still remember this couple. They were very crucial to our great supporters. It was Ron Battersby and Bianca de Boer over in Perth. And they took me to this place. They said, this is a good place for our nuns monastery. And they took me to this small 30 acres old unusable farm lot. And when I got there, I said, this is not good enough for the nuns. We didn't have any nuns yet, but whoever they are, it's not good enough. And then on the way up this road in the town of Gitchi Ganup was this big sign, 583 acres of perfect solitude. And my response was, that'll do. And then my driver said, look, Ajahn Brahm, there's no way in the world we can ever afford anything like that. It's enough to get 30 acres. 583. I said, why not? And so we went and had a look. Just empty land, nothing on it at all. And it was beautiful. A perfect place. And it was on auction. Because it's on auction, that means no one knows what it's going to sell for. So we decided what we did, our Buddhist strategy, was go to the place an hour before the auction was to start. Myself and another monk, we chanted our hearts out. We really gave those devas know what's for. If you really think you're devas and you want to do something good, now is your chance. Really gave it to those heavenly beings. I don't know if you approve of that, but sometimes those heavenly beings need to be woken up to make sure they know it's time to go and do something. And so, after that, they started the auction. And our limit at the time, you remember this? The limit of how much we could afford was £600,000. Oh, no, sorry, dollars. I'm glad I don't do the auction. 600,000. Absolute limit. And when we started the auction, it was exciting. I was just ready, and fortunately our guy who was bidding, he actually said 600,000. Any more offers? Any more offers? And I don't really know if there is a psychic power of getting people to close their mouths. But I tried to find one. It didn't work. Another man put his hand up to bid 625,000. We've come so close to getting this beautiful place for our future Bhikkhuni community in Perth. Really close, but we were outbid. And then our bidder put his hand up, 650. We couldn't afford that. No way. I don't know if Chinlook is here, our treasurer. He's here somewhere. But anyway, as soon as he said that, our treasurer went berserk. He was jumping up and down. Ajahn Brahm, you have to tell him we can't afford this. Tell him to rescind the bid. And of course, you know me. I said no. If anyone's going to jail, I go to jail. You get a nice retreat in jail, you know. It's very nice in jail. You get a mattress in jail. I don't get a mattress in monastery. Actually, I do, but it's on the floor. But anyway, the bid in 650 passed. It was actually the minimum offer he would accept, the seller, and we got it. Do you think we had trouble paying it off? Of course not. It's amazing. What you see, our lay community, our monks community, our nuns community, all of us. It is something which really is beautiful, which needs to be done. We all do it. We find something from somewhere so we can pay off everything. I don't know how that works. I just got this incredible faith and trust. If something is beautiful, needs to be done, it gets done. And that's just the way of, even in the time of the Buddha, Anathapindika. He was trying to find this beautiful piece of land outside of Savatthi for the Buddha. And this guy said, I wouldn't sell it even if you covered every inch of the ground with gold. And Anatta Pindika said, deal. And the owner took them to court. And of course the court said, well, that was actually, in our law, that was an offer. And he accepted it. So Anatta Pindika, this incredibly wealthy man, started putting gold coins on every part of the Jetavana monastery. To him, that's how much it was worth. And this is the very last piece, the entranceway, that Prince Jeta was selling this. He said, you're willing to give this much? And it wasn't just for money, it wasn't a business deal. There was something going on here which Prince Jeta really was inspired by. So he said, that's enough, I'll donate the rest. That's why it became the Jeta Grove Monastery, the Jetavana, Anatta Pindika's park. There's something about the world when it's pure, when people aren't making money out of it, but they're just doing this out of their confidence and faith that something good is happening. I've always found there's always people come from all sorts of quarters. And that particular nuns monastery, where we got our biggest support. Please, you've heard these stories before, but it fits in and just, they always inspire me. I thought that it's going to take us years to raise any money for this. And this guy came along, and I'd never seen him before in Perth. And he said that his wife had just given birth to their first child. And their child happened to be a girl. And he said he was a Buddhist. I'd never seen him before. And he said that, are you building a monastery for women? I said, yeah. Really? Yes. I don't lie. He said, well, I've just given birth, my wife's just given birth to my first child as a woman. I'm a Buddhist. I don't know if my daughter would ever want to become a Buddhist herself. But if she does, I want her to have the opportunity to join a monastery. If she wants, can I give a donation? I'm usually very peaceful, but when he handed over the check in those days, I was shaking. $250,000, $250,000. And that was about, how many years ago, 20 years ago or something? That was a lot of money. I did drop it just to make sure it didn't bounce. But kind of you'll get stunned by, the goodness of people. When the project is beautiful, then all the beautiful people come and help out. Not one person, that was just a little bit. Later on, there's many other parts of that project. And it's not just, honestly, and we've got the abbot of Dhammasava Monastery here, Ayya Hasapanya. I get nothing out of that, just more work. And I'm very happy to work as much as you can to try and help. And because of that, you do get sort of tired and old, but then you look back and see what you've done with your life. And each one of you look back to see what you've done with your life and just how much beauty and goodness has been done here. It's not just even for Buddhism. I love telling the story of being invited to go and give the assembly talk at a top Christian school in Perth, Christ Church Grammar School. And many of you are asking, Ajahn Brahm, why do you give a talk at places like that and you can't come to BSV enough times? But the result is amazing. When I went in there, I had to wait outside while all the kids got settled. And as the kids were getting settled, that the principal and the chaplain who I'd met, helping people with cancer, and the chaplain, the principal, and me were waiting outside. And the principal told me in a few minutes when we walk inside, the two of us, the chaplain and the principal, will do a short bow, quick bow to the Buddha. One of the reasons I'm telling this story, I didn't finish it when I started talking about it at the last day of the retreat. But we will do a little bow to the statue of Jesus. You're a Buddhist, you don't have to. You know what I said? I demand my right to bow to your statue of the Buddha, of the Jesus, sorry. And he thought I was crazy. I remember him looking at the chaplain. This was the first time the principal had met me. The chaplain knew me. And he said, oh, this is Ajahn Brahm, this is what he's like. There was a purpose behind this, so. And the purpose was that when we went in, those two gave a little bow to Jesus' statue. I did as well. And then I gave the talk to the kids. Why did I do that? Why do Buddhists bow to the statue of the Buddha? Every time I bow to that statue of a Buddha, it's to what it represents to me. To me, it's always three things it represents. And the first is virtue, goodness. You can trust everybody. When you keep precepts, that trust is important. When you're on a meditation retreat, that trust and your precepts are important. You can leave things in your cottage and know they'll be there in the evening. You trust people. And you'll always turn up. You won't sort of break rules. That means that every one of you feels safe. And you can close your eyes when you meditate and feel perfectly safe. Virtue is an important part of a retreat center. And when anybody comes to stay here, they learn more about that virtue. Okay, I'm a bit unconventional, but I keep all the rules. On this one time, we have people who bring food to these retreats. On one occasion, our usual cook, their partner got cancer, so they had to look after their partner. They couldn't actually do the cooking. So I managed to get this other gentleman to do the cooking. His name was Carl, C-A-R-L. He was an amazing cook. Incredible good, all by himself, cooking all this food. And then eventually, after the end of the retreat, when we say thank you to everybody who helped, they said, where's Carl gone? He'd vanished. I said, he had to go home. Where's his home? Up the road in Carnot Prison Farm. He was on work release. And he said, well, what did he do? He said he put in jail for rape. You've all gone quiet. I said, what you mean you let a person who's been convicted of rape come into our retreat center and look after us? I said, yes, I trust him. It was his way of paying off some of his debts. He's a beautiful man, a very kind and good person. It was his chance of doing something good for others. And it was also teaching them something. Whenever I have been teaching in a place like a jail, I've never ever in jail seen a murderer or a thief or a rapist or a terrorist. And I've seen some famous criminals inside jail. They're not really criminals, they're people who've done something wrong, who've done a crime. They're people first. And that man, Carl, he's still a good friend. This was about 20 years ago when this happened. He still comes and volunteers to help work at our monastery. He's a good man, now married and settled down. This is actually how that virtue is encouraged, through that sense of forgiveness, giving them another chance. And the second thing which I bowed to, I said, was peace. Like what happens in meditation. What happens when people fall asleep during my talk? Waking up now. That's harmless enough. That peace is beautiful. That's what we do with meditation. That's what we do with trying to keep our precepts, having a peaceful family, a peaceful body, a peaceful community, a peaceful life, a peaceful land, so people can get on together. Once we have peace, that's what we teach here. Not the secrets, but the methods of becoming peaceful. And the last thing which I bow to, the third bow, is always to compassion. That kindness. Acts of compassion you see here, and they're beautiful. They inspire. They warm your heart. They give beauty. So every time I bow to virtue, to peace, and then to compassion. It's what reminds me of what's important in life. Every time I put my head down and these qualities are raised high, that's why they're reinforced in me. So that's why we have these Buddha statues in these places. That's why we have retreat centers. That's why people from all walks of life, not just Buddhists, Christians, Muslims, atheists, whatever they are, allow them to come, and it enhances their path in life, whatever religion they have. If you can do that, soon, when I explain that story to this very strong Christian school in Perth, a few days later, I never expected this, a couple of buses from the school turned up at Bodhinyana Monastery. They were that impressed, they organised a school trip. Not only that, the principal came first. They went into the main hall, and the principal took off his shoes, and next to me, we bowed 3 times to the big Buddha statue in there. You didn't have to tell him. He was bowing to virtue, peace, compassion. It's in these retreat centers where we can teach people so many wonderful things. One of those things which we teach in the retreat center, one of the reasons why I have to make sure it's comfortable, teach old people the secret how to die. Teach people who are sick with cancers. Teach people who have, there's one gentleman, I always would make sure he was giving a bit of priority. His name was Peter. He was an Englishman. He had the ring in his ears, the tinnitus. And coming to the retreat center, he said, was the only place where that tinnitus would disappear a few times. He couldn't understand why. Nothing else could help him. But somehow, being peaceful and still, the tinnitus got much, much less. You see many people with cancers come and do some meditation. My last story, am I talking too much yet? My last little story, why I love building meditation retreat centers and supporting them. This was not here, but over in Sydney. When a gentleman came on this meditation retreat, which I led, he wasn't a Buddhist. He had cancer. Nothing else worked. And so he tried meditation. And straight away, the very first day, I had all these complaints. Can you please ask people not to breathe so loudly? That is what he was sounding like, 24/7. He hardly slept. He had a big tumor in his sinuses. He could not breathe through his nose. So instead, he breathed however he could. After 9 days of these retreats, nothing worked. Until, and I think I've told you this secret before, the last meditation was when it really worked. He was meditating there, giving up hope, and then he heard a popping sound. Pop! And he could breathe through his nose. He came running up to me, and then it closed up again. But actually, for a second or a minute, he could actually breathe through his nose. He never experienced that for months. He was excited. Honestly, I thought he'd left it too late. But then he carried on. And a few months later, when I went to Sydney a second time, this guy came up to me and said, "Do you remember me? If you ask that question, I have to be honest." I say no. And then you remind me, "Oh, you're the president of the BSV," or something. No, I remember you, Adrian. But no. And I said, "No, I don't remember you." And it's quite understandable. If someone's had cancer, they lose a lot of the flesh off their body. They get so gaunt. But anyway, this guy, he was actually looked really healthy. And he said with a lovely smile, which made me smile even more, "I am that man. This is a true story, I'm honest." He said, "I carried on that meditation you taught me. And the cancer is now in full remission. I've got a clean bill of health. I can breathe through my nose again." And of course, when you find out how powerful No, okay. I still got. I think that was a warning. I better. So when I heard that, he was recovered completely, of course, I was just reinforcing just how important it is to have these places where people can come, heal, find peace, find some solutions which other people can't find for them. And he's now apparently told me he's spending the rest of his life, however many years he has, teaching these things for others. But it's great to have a place like this in Victoria, a place where I can come and teach, where other monks and nuns can come and teach what I really love teaching, the meditation, to help and heal many of you for your happiness and well-being for so many years. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you, Ajahn, for the inspiring talk. Now let's start with the official proceedings. Thank you, Venerables. Thank you, Ajahn, for coming to today's momentous events to help us celebrate this special occasion that we have here. And we are very grateful for your presence and support. And thank you, all of you here as well, for being with us here today to help us celebrate and rejoice on these special occasions. We are indeed very grateful for your support. That's what makes us feel very humbled. And we feel very happy that we're able to serve the Buddhist community here. By the BSV committee and the monks and nuns here. I'm very happy to serve the Buddhist community with your presence and support. Before I continue, I'd like to acknowledge Jajaburun as the traditional owners of the water and land in which we are living. We acknowledge their culture, their living cultures, and the role they play in the lives of us as well. And we respect all Aboriginal peoples and their culture and the Lord. Thank you. So today is a special occasion, as I mentioned, that BSV has been trying to get or establish a Buddhist forest monastery for over 30 years. Finally, it has happened over 10 years ago, and now we add another medal to that memento. and it is a meditation retreat center. All these are thank you to Ajahn Brahm for his mega support and his far-sightedness to advise us on the course that we need to take, and for his mega support in getting a lot of support for us financially as well. And thank you all of you, all donors and supporters, locals and overseas, those who contribute financially as well in kind. Without all your support, we will not be able to take off this project and be able to complete it as we have today. We are very grateful to you, and I'm sure the benefits that we have delivered so far will be experienced by many people and generations to come. This project wouldn't have happened without special mentions to a special group of people who work very, very hard. That is the building subcommittees. They have worked on this project for over 3 years. As you know, that we had a builder that we contracted 2022. With the building construction industry that we had, it was very challenging, and the building subcommittee had to take over this project as owners builders in February last year. Without their voluntary services, they sacrificed their time, their family lives, and some of the, even their work time to work on this project. They met every week to discuss issues, to find solutions, to find workmen. We are also very fortunate that we were able to somehow attract a builder who, out of faith in Ajahn Brahm, agreed to take on this project, even though he has not even done a risk analysis of what has been left behind for him to take over. But out of faith, he took over and worked with the building subcommittees. They overcome all the issues, some of the works and defects that we didn't even know, but we were able to identify it and work on it and find solutions to it. We are indeed certainly very, very grateful to Rohan and Jayasinghe, who lead and shoulder the responsibility of this project. Without them, we were not able to do a project management who need to be project who are experienced in the building industry. Of course, we got a PL who the builder, who out of faith jump into it and help us to get through with it. We have Arnil, who is also with us here too as well. He's a service engineer who helped us to go through all the civil services and go through the issues with a very cool-minded head. And we need that person as well, which plays a very valuable role in this project. We have Praveen, who is the mechanical engineer who look through all the technical issues and help us to get through all the, as I said, the technical issues and troubles that we had to go through. And of course, we had the David Ong, who is also an architect, who is able to go through all these items and work through it and give some opinion as to how this to be done. And of course, on site, we have the everyday working, should I say, Ajahn Mudito, who has worked as a site supervisors and more, who go through this, and he has to, well, at times step on people's toes, but that's expected of him. Because he wants to get things done quicker, because within a year, he knows that the retreat is coming now. So we have to go through very quickly. But it is, everything, when the result has been delivered, I think we forgive each other. Don't be Ajahn. So, and he has been working very, very hard, and we are very, very grateful to him too as well. Other people who has contributed towards these projects include Sriju Vimala Jivar, Cecily Yan, who looks at the operation procedure, Jinglo Tan, our treasurer, Dilip De Silva, as well as Nance, who looks after the workers. Not many, we had great difficulty in attracting workers to come on site to work, and let alone to stay here. So the nuns have been making sure that there's enough food to feed them and to make them happy, so that they didn't have to travel to the city and come back every day. And that helps to get them to work, has helped to get through a lot of work done during that time as well. And the nuns also did more work than just feeding them. They came to do some manual work here, landscaping, cleaning, and all that sort of things as well. We are certainly very grateful to the nuns for giving us the background support as well. And to all of us, all the volunteers who came on and off to help with some of the work, the cleaning work, and especially in the last 2 months, whereby we had to gear up we had to go on 4th gear to work through very quickly all our tasks to prepare for today's special events. And some a lot came all the weekend. They work under the what I call rising temperatures. We are very grateful to all the volunteers who help us do the cleaning and landscaping work as well. And thanks of all, we welcome. We thank you for all the monks, for the Newbury, from the Sangha House for giving us the support as well. And thank you to all of you here for having a faith in the committee and the Building Cell Committee to give us the responsibility and once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to build this special place. A place where everyone have a chance to begin their part of the Dharma to get enlightened. We hope that one day this place will produce some arahants and enlightened beings. You never know. It could be you too as well. For those who came for retreats, we should experience it as well. So I shall not take too much of your time. I shall pass on to the next person. And once again, thank you very much, Venerables, for all your support and presence, and all of you here for your support and presence here. And let's rejoice on these special momentous occasions. And the sun is with us now. It was cold, but it's nice and warm. Good. Okay. So we shall pass on to the next speaker. We have Ajahn Nissarano, our head monks here, who will give us a reflections. Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, everyone. And I won't speak for too long, because I know you're under the sun now. We've changed. We've gone from cold, people been freezing, now you're boiling, and now you're getting burnt if you haven't got a hat. You're welcome to put a hat on or cover your head if you feel the heat, because it's some of the people sitting in the front are exposed. But I'd just like to ask for the respected Sangha for the opportunity to just say a few words, and particularly to my teacher, Ajahn Brahm, and all the senior monks here. And we're blessed with a large number of monks and a large number of nuns. And so we're very, very fortunate today to have the Sangha presence. And it is really a magic day for us. This is a day we've been waiting for. This is the day when the centre opens. This centre is for everyone and for all of you. And I hope many of you will come here to practice meditation. Will come here to practice the Noble Eightfold Path. And that's not just the meditation, but it's a great encouragement when we keep virtue, when we develop the meditation in peaceful states, in wise states, develop it for insight and develop wisdom. And along the path, and this is a very important part of the path, happiness. This is actually a happy path, and this is what leads to enlightenment. When the Buddha was practicing all these austere practices before his enlightenment, he wasn't the Buddha, he was the Bodhisattva, he realized this is the wrong path. Indulging in the five senses is the wrong path, but tormenting the body is the wrong path. But what is the right path? The Noble Eightfold Path, liberating the mind, bringing happiness to the mind, which makes the whole path work. It's not from pain, the Buddha said. He realized that one actually breaks through. It's through happiness, developing these happy states of mind, peaceful states of mind. And then we can see things as they truly are. So that's what this meditation centre is for. It's also a place where people can take refuge. It's a sanctuary from the busyness of life. I always ask people, are you busy? I often ask the other one, are you not busy? Nobody puts their hands up, though one day somebody did. And I said, sadhu, sadhu. This is a real teaching. But we need to slow down. We need to find peace. We need to connect with nature. And this is what this centre is about, giving that opportunity, whether it be through an organised retreat or whether it be through a self-retreat, whatever time you have. So I would like to encourage everybody to think of this meditation centre as our meditations, your meditation centre, not only for the Buddhist community, but for the wider community. We hope many, many people will benefit from this sanctuary of stillness, SOS. And definitely there's an SOS for mental health these days. And let's hope this is going to help address that. So I'll just say those few words because I don't want to to keep you too long in the sun. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you, Adrian.
Thank you. I'll pass the mic now to Ayya Upekkha, our senior nuns here at the Newbury Buddhist Monastery.
Thank you, Adrian. Okay, I'll keep it sweet and short. To the devas, to all monastics, to all beings, seen or unseen, everyone, and especially to the first group of Buddhists who started the BSV, Buddhist Society of Victoria, resulting in the Newbury Buddhist Monastery and resulting in the Sanctuary of Stillness. So each and every one of you, whether you're here today or not, everyone who has contributed in your own ways, whether it's from abroad or from local, I'm just going to say these 3 words. Sadhu, 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 anumodami. Thank you.
Thank you, Ayya. The next item is we reserve this special point for the leader of the SOS Building Subcommittee, Rohan Jayasinghe, Indira Jayasinghe. Unfortunately, they have to go to Sri Lanka because of their dying mother who sadly passed away 2 weeks ago. And it's unfortunate they are not able to be here with us to rejoice in these special occasions. However, they are both represented by their dear son, Milinda, which I'll pass on to him to give a few words on behalf of his dad, Rohan Jayasinghe. Milinda.
Thank you, Adrian. Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for the introduction, Adrian. As Adrian said, my mum and dad aren't here today because my beloved grandma and my dad's mum passed away a few weeks ago in Sri Lanka. And in that time of grief for us, the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha were a big refuge for us. And in keeping with the theme of refuge that our beloved Ajahn Nissarano just brought up, I think this place is also a great refuge for so many. And all of us who have donated our resources and time and effort, all of you here today, have accumulated so much great merit through that. And 2 people who did that in a significant way were my mum and dad. And ever since, this was for those of you who don't know, this was an old plot of land that used to be the set from the old Western movie, The Man from Snowy River. Down there was the community hall, was an old school camp. And, since more than 10 years ago when the BSV purchased this lot, so many people, including my mum and dad, have put their blood, sweat and tears into this project. And it hasn't been an easy road for a lot of us. There's been a lot of sacrifices throughout that time. But it's just so heartening to see everyone's perseverance and the beautiful result that has come out of that. And any project of this size is always bound to cause strains within people and within relationships, and it certainly has done so. But I think we can look back to the teachings, the Dharma, to choose forgiveness, to choose loving kindness, and a place like this can help cultivate those noble qualities in us and all the other noble qualities. So in the spirit of one of those noble qualities, gratitude, I thank you all for what you have donated in whatever capacity you have towards this project, and I hope we can all and other people who aren't here can continue to benefit from this for years to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Milinda, for conveying the message from your dad, Rohan Jayasinghe. The next one we pass it to Ajahn Mudito, who has been the site supervisor for this building site. He has gone through a lot, believe me.
Yeah, a lot of grief. Nice to see everybody. It's nice to see so many people here. And I asked for the Ajahn Brahm and the Sangha to give a few words. It's been a stressful 3 years, I must admit. You see the one more skip left there on your side? Look, there was a lot of skips I filled. That's the last one. I'm happy to see that one go. It's a lot of things, a lot of work you have to do on the building sites. And being a site supervisor, I'm sure I have a little bit of experience in building sites, but it was a lot of work for all of us. It's interesting to see so many people today, and I feel absolutely demented. You know why I feel demented? Because everybody knows my name, but I don't know your name. It's just a weird thing, is like when you're in this kind of public figure, all of a sudden you get cast into this kind of public person. People start knowing, they know your name, and it's like, oh, thank you so much, thank you for doing this thing. And I don't know you. I know some of you, but a lot of you I don't know. But it's a very, very great. I'm very grateful to be part of this. And one of the best things for me was at the end, when I started to think my name, not just I feel so special about being Mudito, but I never really understood what the feeling is. Or quite often we teach these beautiful qualities of the Buddha, what the Buddha was teaching us, the metta. We have few, I'm sure there's metta, some of you who are metta there in the audience. We have Venerable Metta Vihari here. We have Karuna. We have Ayya Karuna here from the Sansi, a good friend of mine. We've been good friends for a long time, even before we were monastics, both of us. And then we have me, Mudita. Before I forget Ayya Upekkha, obviously. We have Upekkas. I'm sure we have other Upekkas here as well. My name is Mudita. And I never really understood what it is. But in Buddhism, everything we teach is about feeling. Meditation is about feeling. And now that if I think any of you to come to meditate here, I would never feel jealous if you get a good meditation. I could never feel that. Instead, I would feel the opposite. I would feel happy that you gained a good meditation here. And I was explaining this a few weeks ago, when just before this building project was coming to a finish, I was explaining to somebody who came to monastery, and I gave a little speech, as we do after lunch. And I almost couldn't finish the talk because I was crying. That's enough. For me, it's enough salary. I don't get a paycheck from this. The only thing I get from this project is happiness. If you succeed, I get something. So please come and use this center, the best of your abilities. And that's how you reward all of us who's been hard at work on this project for the last few years. So that's it. Thank you for that.
Thank you, Ajahn Mudito. Thank you for all your hard work over the last few years. He has carried a lot, but as you said, the Mudito carries. It shall pass and it's nothing. At the end of the day, it's the results that counts a lot and the benefits to the community. That's what brings the joy and happiness. Next, I pass on to our guest speaker, Venerable Pasadika. Thank you, Venerable.
Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear Venerable Sangha and dear devotees, first of all, thank you very much for the wonderful invitation. Venerable Ajahn Nissarano wanted us to visit this wonderful event so badly. So, yes, actually, we really respect that, and also the loving brotherhood that he have shown to us all these years since we started our monastery, Dhamso Meditation Center. Ajahn Nissarano and all the monks in our monastery, and all the monks in Newbury Monastery, and wonderful students of Venerable Ajahn Brahm also, helped us a lot. They have participated to our first Katina. From then onwards, they have participated to each and every Katina until last year. So, have been a great support to our monastery as well. So today, I would like to bring a little topic in front of you. There's a sutta called Suvidura Sutta in Anguttara Nikaya 4, Chattuka Nipata. And the chapter called Rohitassa Vagga. And the Rohitassa Vagga explains a sutta called Suvidura Sutta. It's about distance between different objects. So Lord Buddha is explaining a greater distances in the world. Distance between the sky and earth. It's a greater distance. That sky is a concept in case. So then definitely we can't measure the distance of the sky, the distance from the sky to the earth. And then he say the distance between east and west, where the sun rises, where the sun sets. Unimaginable distance. Of course, back then they just calculated based on their parameters. So then they knew, they thought that the general public thought the sun is appearing from the east and setting from the west. So then it's a big distance. And then they say that Buddha said that the distance of the ocean, if you start journey from one place, if you want to go to the other place, it's far away. It's not an easy distance. It's not like crossing a river. So then these distances are greater and unimaginable, but he said the distance between the Satpurusha and Asatpurusha, distance between the noble person and the evil person, distance between the nobility and evility are much, much greater than that. So if you are practicing the pathway, that you like to meditate, you like to practice, which means you're far, far, far away from all the evil deeds, much closer to, we call it Satpurusha Dhamma, noble qualities. So this wonderful place is a wonderful opportunity for you and also a wonderful ground for you to cultivate those noble qualities, and also not so far from you as well. So it's distance-wise, few hours. 2 or 3 hours of drive is nothing, considering to the gain that you earn, considering to the good qualities that you develop by practicing meditation. So as Bhante explained before, please visit to the Perth. Even walking to the Perth would be not a greater distance, considering to the benefit that you get by practicing meditation. So then, so invite you all to practice meditation together here with the support of all these wonderful Sangha. And also in these wonderful speeches we heard that you guys have supported the center, supported this wonderful project. So we'd like to share all the merits to all of you, to all the Sangha. May all of you be happy, healthy, peaceful and content, and reach the ultimate bliss of Nibbana by the power of these wonderful meritorious deeds. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante, for your kind talk. I pass on to Ayya Hasapanya, who is the head abbot of Dhamma.
So good afternoon, everyone. And I'm really honored and also have the privilege to be here to participate this special event, the opening ceremony of the retreat center. And also I'm really inspired, and also thank you for giving me the opportunity to be able to stay at one of the cottages for a few days. And it's very inspiring because I built my own monastery. And you know what, when you do building, first thing you go into the building, you will really look at the workmanship, the details, whether it's good, Then I was so inspired, so nice. They did a good job, Look at all the detailing. It's really, all the detailing is very inspiring, because normally, before that, I know nothing about building. After building our own monastery, once I look into the building, I always look at what's... It's so nice, and it actually is really inspiring that, and it's also inspire me and give me so much joy, and especially when I reflect on all the hard work and everybody, and make this place, possible, for other people to come and practice meditation, and give me so much joy and so inspiring, and I find that this is one of the things that actually this also remind me of one of the Buddha's teaching. The Buddha's mentioned that there are 3 ways that people feel everything in their life. Whatever, they feel everything in their life. First one is, you complain all the time. Imagine we have such a beautiful, all the wonderful facilities, how the cottages, really 5-star, like a 5-star hotel. So, but if someone always, someone have the fault-finding mind, you always complain, isn't it? Always not good enough. If you want to find fault, you always can find fault. There's something wrong. And actually you're not happy, isn't it? You always look for what is wrong. So even with such a beautiful, all the good facilities, how this a beautiful meditation center, if someone has a fault-finding mind, they always complain. So that's why make sure you don't put any box there, any complaint, anything to improve. I can tell you filled out the whole box, There's always something people will complain about. So the second one, the Buddha said, always blame others for their own suffering. And we don't want to take responsibility. We always think that someone else, it's not me, So we don't have to take responsibility. And the last one, the Buddha said that, someone never ever be grateful. If you are not grateful, you have to, because this gratitude is It's one of the very important ingredients in life. If someone have gratitude, you always look for something, and naturally you have positive thinking. You always look for something good, isn't it? And that's why I'm also grateful, for Ayya Upekkha and PSV that invited me and giving me the opportunities to be able to rejoice in the hard work, the good job, they have done, and to create this beautiful, place for people to meditate. I'm also very grateful for that. And that's why sometimes if you have this gratitude, you make your life easier and happier. So I offer this for your Dharma reflections. May this teaching be of benefit to all of you. Thank you.
Adrian, I'm going to borrow a few minutes. I was supposed to mention that some of the BSV ex-committee members and devotees have actually get together the 70 years of the Buddhist Society of Victoria, and it's all printed out in the coloured booklet, which all of you will get in your gift pack, your door gift when you receive later on. So this is just a small booklet, all about how BSV started, leading to Newbury Buddhist Monastery and leading to SOS right now. The e-copy, which is more in detail and a longer one, will come out very soon from what I was told. So, yep, you'll be updated if you want to learn more about the BSV. So you will get a copy of this in your gift pack. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ayya, for giving the inspiring and encouraging talk. As you can see, this is the main building, and this is the hall. And at the side, and this inside the hall, we have the Dana hall. The primary objective of this hall is for the Dayakas to bring food and offerings to the monks and nuns, rather than having to bring their offerings, their alms at the nuns area. So that free up the nuns area so the nuns can have their seclusion. So the Dayakas will bring their food, their alms around here and offer it to the monks and nuns from both sides will come and assemble here to collect their alms. On my left-hand side, we have the office, the toilet and the laundry room, and the kitchen here at the side. And the next side, as I mentioned earlier, on that in front, on your left, is the amenities hall. And right over there, you can see this one little building. It's a cottage. It's a cottage. It looks small from here, but it's quite big. There are 3 rooms there. They are for the caretakers. The caretaker looks after the site here. We need caretakers. And by the way, we are looking for caretakers and property managers. Any volunteers, please write to us. We are looking for volunteers to be the assistant caretakers and property managers too as well. We always look for volunteers. If you think you can offer to the community, please take this opportunity to give yourself a good service to benefit the community. This is a good chance to do so. Behind this hall, we have the stupa courtyard. Some of you may have seen it as you walk past through the back from the nun side. The stupa has been very kindly and generously donated by Eki Pasiko from Indonesia. We have the guests here who fly in from Indonesia. Thank you very much, Sanaka and Andy and Cindy. So we have the courtyard at the back for people to reflect. And we have 4 cottages, 2 on each side. Each cottage has 6 ensuite rooms. They are heated, fully heated. As you know, as you experienced from this morning, this place can be quite cold even in summer. That's why all the halls and the floors and the cottages are floor heated to give you the comfort. And when you feel comfortable, you can then focus on the mind, and that's where you become concentrated in your meditation. That's what we hope. But let's work on it and find out yourself, that theory, whether it proves right or wrong. And you can come and tell us. We hope it's right. So this is what it is. Now, one may ask, what are we going to do next after this? As you can see, we only have 24 rooms from 4 cottages. And currently, we had the last retreat, and we have 2 people in each room. As you can see, it is can be quite intimate or close. So really, our objective is to build 60 rooms. That means we need 6 more cottages in the future, plus a Dharma hall. In the interim, we are using this hall for alms offering as well as a Dharma hall, so it can be quite intrusive at times. So having a Dharma hall will be useful for the practice of meditations. That will be built at the back after the stupa center there. And of course, the monks always have requests. Visiting monks always would like to come and stay here and experience this beautiful and spiritual place here. And the monks always run out of place. Currently, we only have 5 kutis. we do have extra 5 spots for more kutis to be built. So we have plans to build 5 more kutis in the monk side. The next stage is actually refurbishment and buildings on the nun side. As you can see from this morning, the nuns are really taking the last straw of the hat. The end of the straw. What's the word? I'm not too sure what it is now. But anyway, you know what I mean. So they always take the old handover stuff, which are the buildings there. So we would like to refurbish the buildings so that the nuns can have a better building. So that will be the following stage as well. So these are the future directions of the society that we have in mind. But all these things require support, financial and in-kind support. So certainly all supports are welcome, and if you are interested, you can help. Please come and talk to Ajahn Brahm, Ajahn Nissarano, or Ayya Upekkha, or any other committee members, or how you can help to the society to realize the future steps for this beautiful place, to make it more amiable and more useful. And be able to cater for more people to benefit too as well. So I now pass on to Ajahn Brahm and the monastics to do the blessing and chanting.
Samanta Chakavale Suatra Gachantu Devata Sadamang Muni Rajasa Sunantu Sagamokadang Parita Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Parita Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Dhamma Parita Savana Kalo Ayam Badanta Namo Tassa
Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa Ewang me sutang ekang samayang bhagava savatiyang vihavati jetavane anata pindika sarame attako abhitara devata abhikantaya ratiya abhikanta vanna kevala kapang jetavanang obasetva yena bhagava tena upasangkamitva bhagavantang abhivadetva ekamantang attasi etamantang Ditta kosa devata bhagavantang gataya ajapasi bahudeva manusancha mangalani achintayo akankamana sautanang Rupi Mangalamuttamang Asevana Jabala Nang Pandita Nang Sevana Puja Pujaniyanang Etamang Galamuttamang Bahus Padesavaso cha pupe chakata punyata attasamma panititra etamma galamuttamang bahusachancha pancha vinayo chasusikito Subhasita chaya vacha etamang galamuttamang mata pitu patanang puttadava sasangaho anakula chakamanta etamang galamuttamang
Danang
Dhammacharya chayatakana chasangaho anavajani kamani etam galamuttamang arati virati papa majapana chasanyamo Appamado Chadame Sueta Mangalamuttamang Gavavo Nivato Chasantuti Chakatanyuta Kalena Dhammasavanang Etamang Galamuttamang Kanti Chasovachasata Samanana Chadasanang Kalena Dhammasakacha Etamang Galamuttamang Tapocha Brahma Viyancha Ariyasa Chanadasanang Nibbanasa Chikiriya Chaetamang Galamuttamang Puta Dokadame Hichitang Yasanakam Patiyasokang Virajang Kemang Etamang Galamuttamang Gaeta Sanikatvanasa Patamapara Sapatasoti Gachanti Tantesa Mangalamuttammanti Yankin Chivitang Itawa Purangwa Sagesuwa Ratanang Panita Nano Samang Atitata Idam Pibuddhe Ratanang Panitang Etena Sa Chena Sawa Tiho Tukaya Amatang Panitang Yada Chaga Sakyamuni Samahito Natena Dame Samatiki Chidam Pidame Ratanang Panitang Etena Sachena Suwa Tiho Tuyam Buddha Parivanai Suchi Samadhima Nantarika Yamahu Samadhina Tena Samo Navijatida Dame Ratanang Panita Etena Sachena Suwa Tiho Tuye Pugan Pasata Chatariye Tani Yuga Honti Te Dakine Sugata Sasawaka Ete Sudi Nani Maha Palani Idam Pisange Ratanang Panita Etena Sa Chena Suwa Tiho Tuye Supayu Tamanasa Dalhenani kamino gotamasa sanam hite patipata amatang vigaya ladamuda niputing punchamana idam pisange ratanang panita etena sa chena suvatiho tukinang purana nawang natisa pawang viratachitayatike pawasmi tekina bija avirulhi chanda nipanti dira yataya padipo idam pisange ratanang panitang ete sachena sawati hotu karaniya mata kusalena yantang santang padang abhisame sakko uju jasuhuju
Jesuvacho jasamudu anatimani
santu sako jasubaro japakicho jasalahu kawuti santindriyo janipako japagapo kulesu ananukito nachakudang samachare kinchiyena vinyu pareyo pavadeyung sukinoho kemino hontu sabe satapawa tusukitata yekechipa buddhasi watawarawa anavasesa Digawaye Mahantawa Majima Rasaka Anukatula Ditawaye Chadita Ye Chadure Wasanti Avidure Bhutawa Sambhawe Siwa Sabe Sata Bhavantu Sukhitata Naparo Para Nikupetana Timanyetaka Tachinang Kinchipaya Sanapatiga Sanya Nanyamanya Sadukami Cheyamata Yataniyam Puta Ayusa Ekaputa Manurake Evam Pisa Buddhesu Manasa Bhavaye Aparimana Metanchasa Balokasmi Manasa Bhavaye Aparimana Yodang Ato Chatiriyang Asambadang Averang Asapatang Titanchara Nisinova Sayanova Yavata Savigatamido Etang Satik Aditeya Brahmametang Viharan Idama Ditinchanupaga Silawa Dasanena Sampano Kame Vinaya Gedang Nahicha Gapaseya Punaretiti Etena Sa Chawache Dukkha Upasamentute Etena Sa Chavachena Baya Upasamentute etena sachavajena roga upasamentu te etavata chamhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe deva nunumodantu sabba sampati siddhya etavata chamhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe Buddhanumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya etavata chamhehi sampadang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya akasata Bhumata Devana Gamahitika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Sasanang Akasata Cha Bhumata Devana Gamahitika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Desanang Akasata Cha Bhumata Devanaga Mahitika Punyang Tang Anumoditva Chirang Rakantu Tvang Sada idani wo ya idang yon yatina hotu sukita ho yatayo idang wo yatina hotu sukita hontu yatayo idang me yatinang hotu sukita hontu yata varivaha pura paripura tisagarang ewa mewa itodina petana upatkapati ichitang patitang tumha kipamewa samijatu sabe pure tu sankapa chando panavasoyata jyotirasoyata
Sabitio vivachantu Sabarogo vinasatu mate bhavatvan savayo sukhiti Kayuko bhava abhivadana silisa nichang vuta pachalino chattaro dhamma vadanti ayuvano sukhang balang ayuavogya sampati sampati mevacha ato nibbana sampati iminate samijatu bhavatu sabba mangalang rakantu sabba devata sabba buddhanubhavena dasoti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang rakantu sabba devata sabba dhamma nubhavena sadasoti bhavantu te bhavatu sabba mangalang
rakantu sabba devata sabba sangha nupavena sada soti bhavantu te.
May you abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may you maintain well-being in yourselves. May everyone abide in well-being, in freedom from affliction, in freedom from hostility, in freedom from ill will, in freedom from anxiety, and may they maintain well-being in themselves.
But I always don't just like receiving things. I put this aside many years ago. The people from Indonesia remember this. This is my gift for SOS, the meditation hall. I know many of you have asked me, Ajahn Brahm, can you please stay here a bit longer? So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay here much longer, basically forever. Jayanto bodhiya mule sakyana nandiwadano ewantowa vijayo hohijaya sujaya mangale aparajita palanke sise Patavipokare Abhiseke Sababudana Agapato Pamodati Sunakata Sumangala Supabata Suhutita Sukano Sumuhu Tuchasuyita Brahmachari Supadakina Kaya Kama Vacha Kama Padakina Mano Kama Panidite Padakina Katwana Labantate Padakine. I hereby declare the sanctuary of stillness open. May many people become fully enlightened here.
No, stone. Yes. Put it here. Yeah. Not here. Yeah.
We close this.
Is it?
Go through.
Okay. No, get the monastic in first. Monastic in first.